Hello everybody, good afternoon and welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United news and we're talking 3 more years of Solskjaer and some bad news around Marcus Rashford, but potentially it could be decent news around Rashford and his injury. But we'll get straight into this story. A lot of people are talking about it. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, 3 more years of Solskjaer. This is not a surprise that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get a new contract at Manchester United. First of all, it's not a surprise. And what's coming out today from various outlets in the UK, Mirror, ESPN, Manchester Evening News have referenced it, is that Manchester United have seen enough on and off the pitch to feel that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the man for Manchester United, deserves a new contract, 3-year contract, even if he doesn't win trophies this season. Now, all I would say about this, first of all, is that everybody knows that I've said give Solskjaer till May. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying it's right. And everybody knows that I think if he gets top 4, he should get a new contract. He's only got 1 year left, so they've got to do something. I agree with that. And I agree that, those conversations need to be had. But what I don't agree with is that this is amateur level of competency again from Manchester United. We've had this director of football appointed and we've lost Nicky Butt, which is embarrassing. We've now let it be known that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to get a new contract before the season's even started. The season's even over. We've done that before, and the season ended badly. If this happens again, it's just another lack of competence from the board. But taking it away from Solskjaer for a minute, the thing that frustrates me the most, I suppose, is that you read the. Let me just get the direct quote if I can. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer here we go. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be handed a new deal by Manchester United even if he fails to win a trophy this season. He is set to be awarded with a 3-year deal which will see his salary rise from 7.5 million to 10 million. He retains the title of manager. Okay, already they're playing for the long term. But effectively, Manchester United have. They've seen, here we go, Manchester United Chiefs believe they have already seen enough progress both on and off the field to warrant offering him a new deal. And that's the thing for me. It's not the 3-year deal. It's not the money. It's not the fact that he's going to get a contract. It's that the Manchester United Chiefs feel that they've seen enough on and off the pitch already to warrant a new contract. This is the issue for me. Who are these people? What level of competence do they have? And why do they not take any notice of Manchester United fans? Because they think they know better, effectively. But who are the people that are looking at Manchester United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his coaching staff and deciding that they've seen enough on and off the pitch to warrant a new contract? That's the most devastating statement. Ole in, Ole out, Ole shake it all about. It doesn't really matter. Our board think what they've seen is good enough to give a new contract. That to me is the standard of Manchester United right now under this regime personified. They have seen enough on and off the pitch this season to decide that they need to reward their manager. Now, if somebody had given Jose Mourinho a new contract 3 years ago when we were second in the league, there would have been outrage. Outrage. I see no difference between where we are now and where we were 3 years ago under Mourinho. In style of football and where we are in the league, I don't see any difference. So why is it now acceptable that this is something to reward? And who are these people? Who are these people who decide that what we're doing on the pitch at the moment is good? Because they shouldn't be running this football club. I don't mind Solskjaer getting a new contract, but the fact that this season's being applauded by these people as progress and they've seen enough to see that we're heading in the right direction. I'm sorry. The football we've played this season in the main has been appalling. Absolutely appalling. Results, I get it. Progress, I get it. But to try and sell this new contract in a sense that, it's, everything's heading in the right direction. There are major concerns that I don't think football clubs that are run like football clubs would be feeding that information out. Just put out there that he's going to get a new contract, we're second in the league, and we feel that there's progress being made. But don't put out there that the club feels that we're making progress. They've seen enough on and off the pitch to see that he deserves a new contract. I'm telling you, the football is something that, everybody knows that I stick with Solskjaer and I think he deserves a new contract and he will be here next season. And the summer's the big thing for me in relation to what we do in the transfer market. But one thing I will not defend and I will not accept is that the football is shite. It's terrible. It's no better than Mourinho. And I will argue that with anybody. And this is not about being Ollie out or anything like that. But What needs to happen next season is not just good players need to come in. We need to change the way we're playing football, because the last 2.5 years, in the majority, has been Mourinho ball. Now, if that is progress, who is running this football club? And I always ask this anyway. Who are the people that sit down and decide to give Murtar his director of football job, to give Darren Fletcher the technical director, to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a new contract? Who is it? Because it ain't Sir Alex Ferguson or Sir Bobby Charlton. They are on the board, but they are not day-to-day decision makers. Who decides that the contract needs to be given to Solskjaer? And I'll tell you who it is. It's people who don't know anything about football. And that's the problem at that football club. We don't have people who know anything about football or anything about what this football club is actually all about. So when they see their results, they're a spreadsheet board. They look at spreadsheets. They look at where we are in the league. They've got no understanding that you can be second in the league with huge problems. This happened 3 years ago with Mourinho. We're second in the league. Let's have a cigar. There was huge problems when Mourinho finished second. A lot of United fans wanted Mourinho gone, even though we finished second. I remember it. I remember people in the live comments. The same thing is happening now. We're second in the league, and there's a lot of United fans who don't want Solskjaer in charge. Now, they're a minority, but they're not going to disappear. They've been here all season. Some of them have been there longer than that. They're not going anywhere. And as a board, your job is to silence the minority by making things better. Not by trying to tell them that you're right and they're wrong. And this is what this comes across as. We've seen enough progress on and off the pitch to know that this is the right man for the job. And we're going to give him a 3-year contract. That's just going to rile those people who are against Solskjaer. Because it riles me that they would put something like that out. Especially when the double-edged sword is they're the ones handing the contract out and saying that we're making progress. And they're the ones who've also got our summer in their hands. So, yeah, I just think that the 3-year deal makes sense. I would have given him 2. It's a 2-year contract with the option for another 1 anyway. So that makes sense. But it's the people making the decision. You know, a lot of people want Solskjaer out of the job. Some people don't want him out of the job, like me. But the problem is the people making the decisions. You know, I saw Rio Ferdinand said today something along the lines of, if Newcastle fans are unhappy with the ownership at Newcastle, they should get their money together and buy it. Well, I wish we could do that. I wish we could do that. I would put thousands in. I would put thousands of my own money in towards Manchester United. If everybody else was going to do it, I would raise that 4 billion. I would be part of that fund. I would do it. If somebody could do it legitimately, where we could raise 4 billion and buy the Glazers out, I would do it. And I would never want that money back. I wouldn't. I just want the club to be owned by people who give a shit about the football club, who want to run it properly. An appointed board with, you'd run it like Bayern Munich. That I would love that to happen. But it's not going to happen, is it? Unfortunately, this club is held back by the ownership structure. And I always wonder, who was it who decided to give Solskjaer the contract? And I think they're right, but who is it? What is their football knowledge? Or are they business people? And this is the problem at the club, and it really, really irritates. As for the probably the more relevant thing for you is, even if he doesn't win a trophy, he's still the right man, and he's still going to get the contract. That probably annoys people more than anything. It probably annoys people more than anything. What do I think about that? What do you think about that? When you read that United, it doesn't matter whether we win a trophy or not, he's still going to get the contract because he's the right man. Well, we haven't won a trophy under Solskjaer. He's been here for 3 Mays now. Obviously got half a season, and this is his second full season, and we've not been to a final yet, and we've not won a trophy yet. And it's okay to not win a trophy. I think 2.5 years without a trophy for Man United is a long time. It was 3 years, really, isn't it? We haven't won a trophy in 3 years. When was the last time we won a trophy? The Europa League, was that 4 years ago? So we've not won a trophy in a very long time. And our board is basically saying it doesn't matter if you don't win one. And this is what I mean. It's the lowering of the standards. And this is why our fan base is so toxic. Because many of us know where Manchester United should be. I should bloody copyright this. We are the PSG of France. We're the PSG of England. We're the Juventus of England. We're the Bayern Munich of England. We're the Barcelona of England. We're the Celtic of England. We're Manchester United. We should not be in the wilderness as long as we are. Trophies should be a top line thing. You can't be putting... I mean, look, the club haven't put this out there, but it's from a story. But effectively, it's true. if you don't win a trophy, you're still getting a new contract. That's true. Now, we hopefully we will never know, because hopefully we will win the Europa League. But if we don't win the Europa League, you'll still get a new contract, because that contract's done. They've sorted that contract. They're only keeping it back privately. Everybody knows that contract's done. It's done. Like, it's happening, regardless of whether we finish 5th or 2nd, regardless of whether we win the Europa League or not. That contract is done. But the club basically allowing that message to be out there, because they put the message out. They've been putting this message out for years. Doesn't matter if you don't win trophies at Manchester United. You're heading in the right direction. I mean, what's the identity of the football club now? Doesn't matter if you don't win trophies. We're heading in the right direction. I mean, can you imagine Roman Abramovich doing that? Doesn't matter if you don't win trophies. We're heading in the right direction. He doesn't care if you're heading in the right direction or not. It's how quick you head in the right direction. They might have been heading in the right direction under Lampard. They just won an FA Cup under Ancelotti. Bye-bye. Off you go. Manchester United, don't matter if you don't win things. It's only a game. The most uncompetitive, competitive board in the world. We just don't seem to... I don't know. We're just a business, aren't we? And it's frustrating. But the funny thing is, this is not really aimed at Solskjaer. I think Solskjaer should get a contract. I think he will finish top 4. But it's the weakness of the board to lower the expectations and basically say that, everything's fine. Doesn't matter if we don't win a trophy. Everything's fine on the pitch. Well, it's not. The football is not good enough on the football pitch. Even as somebody who's very, very impressed with where we are in the league, I'm not very impressed with the football. It's crap. Back 6, hardly creating any chances. That's not Manchester United. I would rather be winning games 4-3 than 1-0 every day of the week. So, I want to be entertained as a United fan. That's in our DNA. DNA. If Cavani and Pogba go, that's 2 first-team players they won't replace, and we're screwed, says Jeffrey. And would it help if no one bought the new kits with the new sponsors? But they will, Stray. They will. I'm like you, Mark. Wait until the summer and see what the board gets for Ollie. If they don't get good players, I will say Ollie out. Don't want another season of McFred and Magaluf and progress depressed. Well, DK, it's not a threat. It's not a threat. Some people call it a threat. It's not a threat, and I'm with you. If we start next season with Magaluf and McFred with a back 6 and counter-attacking against the top 6, I'm Ollie out, because it's 3 years. 3 years of that. And I don't, life's too short, isn't it? I don't want that style of football. I don't care whether you're Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Ryan Giggs, Gary Neville, Sven-Goran Eriksson, David Moyes. If you play shit football with shit tactics, that's not what United should be all about. A club has an identity. Even West Ham think they should play a certain way. So Manchester United definitely should. We have quality players now that can't dislodge Magaluf and Fred. What makes you think new signings will? Ollie will be sacked by Christmas like Mourinho, says Julio and S. I honestly think Milenkovic, Rafinha and Rice is possible and would be a great window if we keep Pogba. I think Torres and Koundé are not fast enough, says Cisco. Well, Koundé's faster than Milenkovic. You've just... I would argue that Torres is quicker than Milenkovic as well. So... Good point, but I have to say that I don't agree with you on the pace factor there, which is interesting. But there was also something out here I wanted to read as well. Where was it? So this is from the same outlet, saying that Manchester United are gearing up for a big summer in the transfer market to make that title challenge a realistic prospect, with a centre-forward, a centre-half and a right winger their main priority when the window opens. But United District on Twitter has quote tweeted something as well. That is, there is a belief that Manchester United, that the progress made by Solskjaer since taking over for Jose Mourinho in 2018 has continued this term, with the club expecting to make a credible title challenge next season. They are not going to make a title challenge next season. They're not going to make a title challenge next season. I want to be wrong. But how deluded are this board? Do they actually watch us play? We are not going to get into a genuine title challenge next year. No. I want it to happen, but do you think that we are in a stable position to challenge for the title next year? Some of our fans want the manager sacked. Our best player wants to leave. Our best striker wants to leave. Our best centre-back wants to leave. One of our best midfielders probably wants to leave. I mean, does this feel like it's the platform to go and challenge for a title next year? Or am I being naive? I don't think we will be anywhere near a title next year. I think we might be further away from a title next year than we are this year. because I think Man City will be better next year. I think Liverpool will be better. I think Chelsea will be better. I think we'll be fighting for fourth. Now, I did say that at the start of the season and we're second now. So look, as I said, I'm not right. I'm not right. It's just an opinion. But how can the board genuinely expect a title challenge next year? And is this not setting them up to sack him anyway? Like, you've always got to try and read things and read situations. And I think Solskjaer's gone at Christmas. I almost feel he's been set up to be sacked. It feels so familiar to what happened to Jose. Second in the league, didn't get backed in the summer, sacked by Christmas. The fans go on the manager and allow the board a little bit more breathing time to bring somebody else in and sell fake promises again. It feels to me like Solskjaer's been set up to be sacked because I can see problems. I don't expect Solskjaer to fight for a title next year. I don't. Not because he's incompetent. I don't see how we're going to do it. I don't think we're anywhere near a title team at the moment. The fact that we're second is we're the best of a bad bunch. I think everyone accepts that. And Liverpool have had a weird season and Chelsea have had a weird season. We're the best of a bad bunch, but we're nowhere near Man City. So we're going to get closer to City with this setup. Like, I think we're going to be worse next year. If Pogba goes, we're worse. If Cavani goes, we're worse. If Bailly goes, we're worse. And, you're expecting three... All right, you might replace those players, but they've still got to settle. You're not going to get... Paul Pogba, even if we get a Pogba replacement, he's not going to come in and be like Pogba. If you get a Cavani replacement, he's not going to come in and be like Cavani. He's not going to come in, centre-back. These players need time to adapt. Look at how long Harry Maguire took, well, some people would say he still hasn't adapted, but it takes time. It takes time. And Van der Beek was our signing last year. He's hardly played. So how are we going to challenge for a title next year? It feels to me like it's either pipe dreams or setting up the manager to be sacked, because next year when we're not near the top, they sack him. And also, you've got to trust that the board are going to bring decent players in. Can Ali be held responsible for the transfers we bring in this summer? The past has shown that the board don't get what he wants, says Nick. Well, I don't think he got what he wanted last year. We're second in the league, but there are a few results that could have gone the other way where we would be then. In my opinion, second place is flattering, says Kevin Bishop. And I don't know what this board thinks. Give Ollie a new contract, no signings, and then sack him in December and pay him off. What the actual F, says DK. Please smash a like on the video, by the way. Just a little bit of a story. Board is so deluded that they should be in mental asylum, says Sammy. And I'm staying silent until the summer. If we don't get CDM, centre-back, right-winger and Pogba contract, then expect another trophyless season, says Si. Well, I think that Manchester United don't care about trophies. I think, and hopefully I'll get proved wrong on this, but some of you have said it for a while. I've said it as well. I feel that Manchester United's board is replicating what Arsenal did in the final 10 years of Wenger. It starts off, oh yeah, we're a title challenger. It's always progress. It's always a vision. It's always tomorrow. It's top four, top four, top four. And if you keep getting top four, you're absolutely fine. As long as you get top four, you're fine. Don't care about trophies. Not really bothered about trophies, as long as you get top four. We've got no aspirations to try and win a title. We're not spending that sort of money. We will spend a little bit of money. As long as we're taking more out of the money, as long as we're taking profit out of the club and that debt's not getting paid off, we're happy. What we don't want to see happening is that debt get even more and we're not getting our dividends. And that's the way I fear Manchester United are going to get run over the next 10 years. That top four is fine. And to be fair, Solskjaer's about to do what we haven't done since Sir Alex, which is finish top four 2 years in a row, I think. I don't think we've been 2 years in top four in a row. So they'll love Solskjaer. He's the new Wenger. He's the new Wenger at Arsenal. Not with all the trophies and the invincibility, but he is the Wenger of the last 10 years. If all United really want is a manager that gets them top four, and they're happy. All we want as fans is a manager that plays the United way and gets us back on top of English football. But that doesn't go hand in hand with the owners, which is why if the owners don't change, we all want a new owner. But I've always going to say this, whatever your anger is about individual players or managers or coaches, the reality is if you're at a restaurant and you don't like the food, is it the chef or is it the person running the restaurant? And it's the person running the restaurant because they've got the power to change things. But do they want to change it? Maybe they get their meat in cheap. Maybe they're making big profits. Maybe a few complaints are nothing compared to the profit they're making. And this is the restaurant and this is Manchester United. There will be complaints about the product, but at the end of the day, are they going to go to a new restaurant? Manchester United is a restaurant. The food may be a bit shit at times, but we ain't going anywhere else. because we're not going to go to another restaurant, because football fans don't go to another restaurant. They start at a restaurant and they stick at it. And that is what they have. They have the most attentive, biggest audience in the world that will eat whatever you deliver, as cheap as it is. You know, we do want the finest steak. We do want the finest red wine or whatever it is you drink, but we won't get it. We'll get cheap wine and we'll get bloody steak that's from a crap cow because they can make big profit off it. And that's the way Manchester United's being run. But we all know this. It's not rocket science. We all know that we're being run on the cheap. We're in debt. We've been in debt, hundreds of millions of pounds of debt for 15 years. We are being run on the cheap. I just don't know why we think it's going to get any better. I would love it, absolutely love it, if the Glazers just named their price and every United fan, surely it could be done. Surely it could be done. Surely somebody with a brain in that world could start some sort of fund where Man United fans could legitimately put money in and raise the revenue to buy them out, and then we could put an elected board in place and run the club properly. Look, it's a pipe dream, but surely dreams are there to come true, and get our football club back. Because I don't dislike the Glazers on a personal level, but the club is being run like a bloody restaurant and cutting costs and running up mortgages and things like that. It's soul destroying, because we shouldn't be doing this. I look at what Manchester City and Chelsea do, and there is envy there. Of course there is, because they're being run like football clubs. They want to be the best football club. We want to be the best football club with a blindfold and two hands tied behind our back. It's never going to happen, is it? You know, Pep and Klopp, they're like, and we're like, oh, you know, we just don't know. We don't know where we are, and it's sad. It's sad, but this is not on Solskjaer. This is a byproduct of the way the club's run. To be absolutely honest with you, I back Ollie. He deserves the contract, and he definitely should be here until the start of next season. I don't think he'll be here in a year's time if he doesn't get backed. But can I just say this, and I will say this, and I don't think anyone would disagree with me, right? If Roman Abramovich came in and bought Manchester United, not him, but the equivalent, or Manchester City's owners bought Manchester United, do you think Solskjaer and Carrick and everyone else would be Man United coaches for long? I don't. They'd want their best. And that's not saying that Solskjaer's useless. I'm not saying that. But if you had owners that wanted to be the best, like Man City and Chelsea, McFred wouldn't even be here. Magaluf wouldn't be here. Maguire might be, but not Lindelof. They wouldn't play those two. Solskjaer wouldn't be here. And there's a lot of other players that wouldn't be here. I mean, maybe Wan-Bissaka wouldn't be here. Maybe neither of the goalkeepers would be here. Maybe Martial wouldn't be here. You know, there's a lot of players that wouldn't be here, and and the manager wouldn't be here if we were run like Chelsea or Manchester City, who want to be the best. And the whole club, to me at the moment, whether it's on the pitch, coaching, or the board, it's all done on the cheap, effectively. And people will say you've spent nearly £1 billion, but we haven't in the last few years. We did at the start. They did chase the money at the start, up until probably Pogba. They did spend a lot of money. And look, Maguire was a lot of money, but the ambition in that football club is limited. If you know your history of Manchester United, we tend to spend money when we're in the Europa League. When we're in the Champions League, they don't spend. And the history's there. Check Mourinho, check Van Gaal, check Ollie. When we get in the Champions League, they don't spend money. It's that fear. And we've never done it. It's that fear of being out of the Champions League 2 years in a row. And we've never done that. We're only ever in the Europa League for 1 year, and then we're back in. And that's when they spend their money. And they don't spend it well, Paul. They don't spend it well. Jonathan Reed says it's a smokescreen. Ollie agrees a new deal now. It's con time, letting on their negotiations for Ollie. New deal all summer. Then bang, transfer window closed, and we've signed Ollie. Charlie says, Mark, you're second in the league. What more do you want? What a question, Charlie. And here's what an answer. Charlie says, Mark, you're second in the league. What more do you want? I want fucking first. We're Manchester United. It's a very good question, and it's a very good answer. I want first, because that's where Manchester United should be. That's where Liverpool fans think they should be. That's what supporting a big club's all about. You think this is where you belong. Manchester United should be first. Second is never good enough. And it's not Mark Goldbridge talking. It's Sir Alex Ferguson talking, because that's what we were brought up on. Second place is nowhere. But for some reason, in the last 8 years, this club has tried to lower the standards within our fan base to say, top four's quite good. It was never good enough under Sir Alex Ferguson. Second was never good enough. Speak to any player, read any article. Never good enough to be second place. And now we're meant to go, it is. It's not. It's not. I'll go on the journey to first, but I don't think we're on that journey. I think we've hit the ceiling. I think second's fantastic. I think Solskjaer's achieved a brilliant thing this season. Is it enough? No. But in these times with these owners, it probably is. Marcus Rashford isn't going to play for England, by the way, apparently. He's just there to, be part of team meetings and, get himself feeling part of it for the Euros, which is absolutely fine. A lot of us had questioned why he was there in the first place, but as long as he's getting his recuperation, that's fine. But he's not playing tonight, and he's not going to be playing apparently for the whole international break. So as long as he's recovering, that's absolutely fine. Which reminds me, England against San Marino tonight. I'm doing a watch along on That's Football. It's a 7:45 kickoff. How many goals will there be in it? Well, we've got a £2,000 cash prize pot that can be won tonight on our United Stand picks. It's for an England game tonight. The link is in the video description. It's free to enter. You must be over 18 because we're giving away cash prizes. 12 questions to do with the game, like will we score a penalty? How many goals will we score? 12 questions. There's a live leaderboard once the game kicks in. If you've downloaded United Stand picks, you may as well play it because it's free anyway, and you could win some of that £2,000 cash prize pot. And if you've not played it before, give it a download. Links in the video description. You've got to be over 18 to play it, but it is free to enter. And we do this for every United game anyway, but because it's the international break, we're doing it for 3 and we're doubling it up from 1,000 to 2,000. So links in the video description. My score prediction is that United will win. Not United. I want at least 7 goals tonight, so it's going to be interesting to watch, and I'll be doing that on That's Football. But we have got a show at 7 o'clock on the United Stand as well, so join us for that. Thanks everyone for watching. It's San Marino. I don't know who I called them. Who did I call them? Career mode's on in about an hour as well, so lots going on, but lots to digest. I'll speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching. Please smash a like on the video and subscribe, bottom right hand corner, and make sure you check out United Stand picks for the match tonight.